I'm Jared LeBlanc, and you're watching Maine Freedom Watchdogs. We address the issues that affect your freedom here in Maine. A few people have brought to my attention a concern they have over an organization known as the Progressive States Network. They see it as a threat to our freedom here in Maine. This national organization does have a few high-ranking members for Maine. Are these folks really representing the interest of Maine? Or are they simply promoting a national agenda for this Progressive States Network?
I am Tracey Gauthier. I am a resident of Lincoln, Maine, candidate for Senate District 30 as a Republican against Elizabeth Schneider. I found an interesting group that really concerns me. It's called the Progressive States Network. What they do is they are working on progressive federalism. They work with state legislative bodies, state governors, to push a progressive agenda that they can't get passed on the federal level. They're going to do it on the state level. I was horrified to find out that Maine is actually quite involved in that network. Hannah Pingree is on their board of directors. A lot of the bills that have come up for vote in Maine have come directly from the Progressive States Network, and I'm not comfortable with our legislative body being part of that network. They're paid to represent us, they were voted in to represent us, and all they're doing is being progressive activists, and I'm not going to stand for it.
I met with Maine Speaker of the House Hannah Pingree, who is also a board member of the Progressive States Network. I approached her in the hallway at the Capitol and asked her if I could interview her, and she graciously gave me an hour of her time the very next day. So the speaker definitely gets an A+ for being accessible.
It's a really important thing for citizens in Maine to do, to consider running for office, whether you're Republican or Democrat or Independent or Green. It's important that Maine citizens are represented in the legislature. I am one of many legislators as Speaker. I try to make a case for things that I care about, but like every other member of the legislature, some of my bills are successful, some of them are not. As a member of leadership, just like committee chairs, very often people will come to you and they'll have an issue. Whether it's the Maine Civil Liberties Union or a group of fishermen in my district will come to me and say, will you sponsor X bill on an issue that they care about? And you obviously have to decide if you believe in that and want to put your name beside it, but it does end up, leadership has more bills for that reason. Right. Well, I am on the board of the Progressive States Network. It's a national organization, started a couple of years ago. It was actually started somewhat in response to ALEC, which is the American Legislative Exchange Council, there are a number of state legislative organizations. Some are nonpartisan, like the National Council of State Legislatures. Some of them have a more partisan slant.
Well, back to the Progressive States. So you sponsor a lot of bills and you're part of this organization. One of the concerns I've heard, people are worried that the bills that are being proposed aren't necessarily coming from the people in your district or the people of Maine, but that there's kind of this national agenda that's being promoted through the Maine legislator. How would you respond to that concern?
Obviously I think that is, it's not a true concern. Since I've been on the board of Progressive States, I can't actually think, and I don't think I've put in any bills on their behalf. More often, they have taken things that we have done in Maine and said, that's a great model. How can we spread that nationally?
So we have a chicken or the egg question. Which comes first? Do Maine legislators get their agenda from the Progressive States Network? Or maybe the Progressive States Network is getting its ideas from Maine legislators? Perhaps it's a combination of the two. So I looked at 3 specific areas that were brought to my attention in the emails, and we'll explore those. On the website for the Progressive States Network, there is a link to the 2010 multi-state agenda. The first item on the agenda has to do with paid sick days, and lo and behold, our Senate President Libby Mitchell did introduce a bill that had to do with paid sick days. You can read both bills online and compare for yourself at MaineFreedomWatchdogs.com. But it does appear to me that the bill submitted by Senate President Libby Mitchell did seem to be copy and pasted directly from the bill suggested on the Progressive States Network as Multi-State Agenda Number 1. Mitchell even seemed to follow the suggestion of tying the need for a paid sick days bill to the H1N1 virus, which we now know was overhyped and mostly a false epidemic designed to increase profits for Big Pharma. Next, I looked at the tax bill 1495. I didn't find a direct link to any Progressive States Network documents that looked exactly like the Maine tax bill. But when I examined that tax bill, I had to really ask, do the folks in Augusta think that the economy is going good? They actually think we have extra money for more taxes? 1495 actually introduces over 100 new taxes. That's right, over 100 new taxes in 1495. The third bill that I examined was submitted by John Martin, and it was to elect the United States President by a popular vote. Folks, the entire bill from start to finish, from the first word to the last, was an exact replica of what was listed on the Progressive States Network website. Whether you agree with these bills or disagree, I think we could all agree that bills should have the best interest of Mainers at heart if they're going to be introduced in the Maine legislature. I think that when the 2011 multi-state agenda comes out from the Progressive States Network, we should be aware and make sure that bills coming through the Maine legislature have the interest of the Maine people in mind and aren't just serving the agenda of the Progressive States Network. Be sure to catch next week's episode where we will explore the myth of the progressive, including why so many well-meaning people fall for it. This has been Maine Freedom Watchdogs. Thank you for watching, and let's keep each other free.
Broadcaast.
Well, they
the
could
state
actually
legislature.
go and read the bill, right?
Oh yeah, you can read any bill online.
And they could read a New Jersey bill, and they could compare for themselves.
Yeah, you could read any bill online. You can watch our proceedings in the House online. You can listen to any committee online. So we try to be very open. You know, there are lots of laws about open government and transparency, and you know, we don't pass any bills in Maine that haven't been on the internet, haven't been vetted with the public. The idea that there's something suspect and we're passing a New Jersey bill, I mean, I don't think people in the Maine legislature would do that, and obviously that's, you know, we're all here trying to do the right thing. We don't always agree on what the right thing is, but if we can find a way to make things work, we do.